for 2 minutes and I'm already sweating profusely. And all right, thank you.
I'm here.
Okay, guys, we are live on Urban Talks as of right now as well. So you'll hear me in minutes as we're doing our group talk. But the whole point of this is when we're done, we're going to have some observational data to show what this does to anybody in this particular situation. I mean, how anybody is supposed to function like this. I can barely breathe, let alone continue to just function. I mean, just being in a room this size is so hard on my senses. So, all right, Melissa, I'm ready whenever you are here.
Okay. Jenny, can you give us a vital reading right now when we start so we have an idea of what your body temperature is at least?
Sure. Right now we are at 90 degrees in the room. I'm going to do my blood pressure reading here. Give it a minute while it kicks in here. Ooh, it is hot. Hot. Holy crap, hot. Crazy. If you want to be going to really illustrate this, I don't do things halfway, so here we go. I'll start it over. All right, bear with me. Like I said, this is not going to be the most beautiful, well-done broadcast. That's not what I'm looking for at all. I'm trying to be real. Okay, I got to remember not to move. Woo! Hot, hot, hot. Okay. Waiting for it to get done. And I do want to thank Josh Cooper, George Boucher, and Sarah Gibson for donating medical equipment to the experiment. Okay, right now, in here, this for 10 minutes, my blood pressure is at 154/106, and my pulse is at 107.
And so, body temperature?
I can do my body temperature. Hang on, it'll take me a second here. Hold on. We are at 99.2.
Okay.
Oh, and my pulse ox is 98, which means I have 98% of the oxygen in my blood that I should at this moment.
All right. So, and you are wearing a prison uniform. How are you dressed?
I am dressed. Yep, I am dressed in a traditional prison uniform from a local county prison. The blues, the blue pants, the white T-shirt, and I have my shower shoes on. And that's basically it. I'm trying to make sure that I have this as close to what a human being would endure in this situation. My hair is not pulled back. I'm just, sitting here and sweltering right now. To describe the room a little bit, the room is 5'3" by 7'3". It is a little bit smaller than a traditional prison cell, which is 6 by 8. And all that's sitting in this room right now is my cot, which is as close to a prison bed as I could possibly get, the little desk with the computer on it, and my lamp. I have the window completely covered except for a small hole that I cut in it to simulate the amount of sunlight, actual light that you would normally get. And the door is covered in plastic. Now, what I will be doing is we are going to be taking a lot of pictures, and they will be also be put on the YouTube later so that people can see, as well as on the Facebook. I can tell you, just as I'm sitting here right now, sweat is just pouring pouring off of me. It's pouring off of me.
Okay, so in an actual prison, they're not allowed any fluids in the cell, no water, no nothing, huh?
Right, and I went with that as well. There's absolutely nothing in here with me. There's no fresh air. Everything is completely covered up. I don't have anything to drink in here with me. In a traditional prison cell, you would have commissary if you were lucky enough to have commissary. But when you are in solitary confinement, you are not given that.
Right.
You are only given something to eat or drink at meal times. And I can tell you, I mean, my mouth feels sick. I mean, and we've been in here not even 10 minutes. So, you know, yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun.
Jenny, tell us what's going through your mind now.
Panic. Absolute panic. Like, I just want to run. I just want to run. I want to be out of here. I'm uncomfortable. My anxiety is through the roof because sitting here, honestly, it just feels like time has stopped. Like I feel just completely disconnected, and I can't think of anything else but that. And I remember, you know, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and even before I came in here today, you know, I want to try to be as much in the mindset of somebody in this situation as I can. And my brother, who was downstairs, not thrilled that this was going on, said to me, well, be careful, you don't want to go in there too stressed out. And I said, but think about it, anybody going into a solitary confinement cell is going to be incredibly stressed out. How could you not be?
Right.
You know?
Because you're put in there for punishment. So,
right.
Or to remove you from the other inmates because you're a danger to yourself or others. That's why you would end up in solitary. So I imagine it's going to be quite exciting getting you down there, and you're anticipating going in the cell. Okay.
Right.
Are you wearing socks?
I am not wearing socks. I am just simply wearing the little slip-on shower shoes that they would provide for you.
Okay, do you see any mice coming in to talk to you, or any little bugs? Or
No, I don't even think they would want any part of this situation, you know?
Well, I was hoping they would, actually, for your sake, and
I didn't have
you didn't send them invitations, did you? Well, yeah, I imagine in jail you don't know when you're going to solitary. It's always spur of the moment because, as I said, it is a punishment because you're a danger to yourself or others. So, yeah, if you do have any pets in prison, like, you know, a mice or a cockroach or something,
you know,
you're going to have to abandon your pet. They won't let you bring your pet, will they?
Right, and then not only that, is if you're the only one, you know, because a lot of these incarcerated individuals form a bond with these animals, and they're the only ones taking care of them. I mean, even all the way up to, like, the Hope dogs. What happens when their human goes into solitary confinement? I'm sure they're worried about them. You know, that's a really good point, actually. They do these Hope dogs as a therapeutic program. What happens when that's ripped away from you? Because we all know that not everybody in prison, and especially not everybody in solitary confinement, is there because they're guilty. So there you are, you know, struggling, and you have a relationship with this therapeutic support animal, and all of a sudden you get thrown into the box. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I try to think about me in chaos, and I would be devastated. I'd be worried if he was alive, if he was fed, you know.
Right. And also, you have no way of getting word to your family members when you're in solitary, correct?
Correct, just like it is if it's a lockdown. I mean, at least
so
if
you had a problem at home, say somebody was in the hospital even or something, because you're in solitary, they don't make exceptions. They wouldn't even allow you to find out about that. So that would be playing on the mind as well.
Right.
Okay, Jenny, Can you do me a big favor and take your body temperature?
Yep.
It's been a little over, it's been 10 minutes. I want to monitor your temperature. I bet your ear is full of sweat. Do you have an ear thermometer?
I'm still here, still going.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are at 99.8.
Okay, so you've gone up 0.8 essentially in 10 minutes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I kind of don't like the sound of that already. Well, let me change the subject a little bit to distract you here. Jenny, now that you're in prison, are you planning to change your career? What's up with that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. In PA, we got this new clean slate law, so, you know, we'll see. I mean, what was my crime?
Prison reform is kind of useless when you're in prison. How do you feel about this, Jenny?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll be moving on to a stage performer. You know, we'll take my act live here. Oh, yeah. My Lord. Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to reiterate here that although Jenny and I are laughing, I'm actually trying to keep her distracted so she doesn't panic. Keep in mind, an actual prisoner at this point is not going to be laughing like we are. They're probably going to be how, Jenny? Do you think they'd be crying yet?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
How are you sweat-wise? Is it dripping in your eyes? Or?
It's horrible. Like, my glasses are falling down. They won't stay on my face. The little toe frosting on my finger keeps falling off. It's horribly uncomfortable. My throat feels like it's swelling up. My hair is stuck to me everywhere. My nose is
got water in your ears?
I do. There's sweat in my ears. Yeah, like now, everything.
See, we in Arizona know all about that. That is genuinely hot when water is pooling inside your ears.
It is.
And you're in an upright position. Oh dear. Okay. Do you feel lightheaded or dizzy or anything? How are you?
No.
How are you doing there?
No.
Okay.
So far, no. I mean. Now, just a little background on me so that everybody knows my, oh, goody, the heat kicked back on. Oh, yay. Oh, boy. Okay, a little background on me. I have suffered with crippling anxiety all my life. I had a nervous breakdown 3 years ago, and I know how to handle my anxiety. So my ability to remain calm in situations is pretty legendary at this point. By the way, hi everybody out there. Hi Tisa and Donnie and hey Bobo, hey Jamie. I'm saying hi to everybody on Sisters Against the System Live, Melissa.
Okay.
But so I'm able to withstand that pretty well, but I'm telling you, the overwhelming emotion I feel right now is to run. And there's actually a term for it. It's called drapetomania. I learned this back in slavery times. Slaves would be so just terrified all the time that they would want to run, not with any destination, but to run. It's called drapetomania. And it was actually recognized as a psychological diagnosis at one point, that people that suffer through traumatic events, they just want to escape. That's what I feel right now. And with me, I mean, I can look out and I threw the plastic over the doorway, and I know my salvation for lack of a better term, is right outside there. I know I can leave. I can't imagine being stuck in this situation and not knowing if you will ever see the outside. Now, I'm not going to mention any names, Melissa, but you and I know someone whose son suffered 10 years in a solitary confinement cell just because he was mentally ill. I cannot, and at, 18 years old? I can't even imagine. But also, the work that I do, thank you, Jamie, also the work that I do, I work in a plant. It is stifling every day. We have no air conditioning, we have no fans, so I'm used to working in very hot, stifling conditions, and I'm telling you, this is, I mean, it's only been, not even 15 minutes, and it's hard. I am so freaking uncomfortable right now. Like I said, my glasses won't stay up. All right, I'm going to do my 12-15 vitals here.
What is the temperature of the room right now?
Oh, we are still hovering around 92, 93. Oh my gosh, just standing up.
See, keep in mind, if you were outside in 92, 93, and you had a breeze going around you and some shade and nice cool drink in your hand, or you were in the pool, it would be very pleasant. But you have none of that. You have no water to drink, and oh, that must be awful. Now,
it's not
another thing that concerns me that just came to my mind, Jenny, is if you're in solitary, they're not going to let you bathe, so you're going to be stuck like that for days, all sweaty.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, that's just got to be awful. Awful.
Okay, now, this is interesting. Right now, my blood pressure has actually dropped just a little bit. It went from 154 over 106 to 146 over 100. My heart rate stayed the same. Now, what's interesting to me is you would say, God, I'm just sweating profusely. You would think that that's a good thing. But I don't know that necessarily it is. Because you keep asking me about my mental state, it almost seems like my body is forcing itself to overcompensate. You know what I mean? Because this is not pleasant by any stretch of the imagination. But my pulse has risen considerably. My pulse has gone from 98 to 106. Now, a resting heartbeat is only 72 degrees, so 106 is significantly high.
Yes.
So I'm going to check my pulse off here. That I was lucky enough to receive from
almost 20 minutes, Jenny, at this point. You've been in almost 20 minutes. I think you got maybe a minute or two to go here. And how are you feeling? Are you really panicking yet, or just?
No, I'm actually very calm, which is what's strange. I'm calmer now.
Okay, I was going to bring that up because your blood pressure took that drop, and now you're feeling calmer. Your body is doing something to help conserve energy. I think your body is in danger for heat stroke at this point, and it probably knows it, so it's just conserving everything it can. By slowing down, you don't use as much body fluid that you already have, and it just seems to make things a lot easier. Are you feeling tired? Lightheaded?
No, I wouldn't say I'm feeling tired, but I'm feeling a little lethargic. Like I don't want to move.
Okay.
I just like I'm sitting very, very still. I'm very thirsty. I am so thirsty right now. And I mean I am just it's horrible. I mean, and this is 15 minutes. Like I'm feeling the urge. Like right now, I'm sitting straight up with my feet on the floor. I just want to lean back.
You've got 40 to go, Jenny.
I do. I want, like, the urge to just lay down is pretty overwhelming. I'm forcing myself not to do it. I mean, and I remember reading, forgive me, I don't remember which prison it is, the max temperature that I've heard is 128 degrees. That's, I mean, right now it's like 92, 93 in here, which is the hottest I've been able to get it to go with the space heater. But 128 degrees. And, you know, I've said, I got to lean back. I have to. I can't sit up straight anymore. But I've talked to a lot of people, and whenever you talk about any kind of rights for the incarcerated, the first thing anybody wants to say is, oh, well, they shouldn't be there. They should have thought about that before they went to prison. And my comeback to that always is, regardless of what they're actually speaking about, is, well, you know what? Look at the exoneration rate in 2019 and how many people have been set free after 20, 30 years of suffering in prison for crimes they didn't commit. You know, look at the Move 9 from Philly, you know, that are finally getting out after all these years. You know, I mean, I know it's so hard not to go off on that part. But, you know, my comeback is always, well, how do you know you're not going to be the next innocent one? Would your tune change then if you were the one sitting behind bars? Or, you know, and I think it was someone, Marie, that brought this up about, you know, how many women are in prison for killing their attacker. You know, how many victims of rape and, you know, years and years and years and years and years of molestation are sitting in prison for life because they stood up to protect themselves. You're telling me that their reward for that is to go through what I'm going through right now? Like, I am. I can tell you, something's definitely changed now. That heat's kicking on again. Yeah, I just want to lay back and close my eyes. I do, and I'm not exaggerating by any means.
Jenny, I would like you to take your temperature again, your body temperature again. Okay?
Yep.
I'm getting a little concerned.
Now, you said about like wanting to cry. Like there's tears welling up in my eyes right now.
Okay,
I'm not
all right.
I mean, I'm okay, but I can tell I'm fighting it. But I can tell you, like this is so freaking uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna have to be quiet because I have a mouth one. All right, here we go.
Okay, 20 minutes you've been in there, and already you're having some emotional difficulties. So, I mean, you got to kind of imagine the prisoner that went in there, and they were upset to begin with, and now they're in this situation. I just feel really bad already. And not only that, all these prisons that don't have cooling this summer, they're probably getting that hot too. So Jenny's going to get her body temperature there.
Yep.
And, yeah, we're almost to 25 minutes.
All right, we're up to 100.1.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, technically you got a fever going there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to prevent heat stroke here on the outside, we would give you some aspirin, but in there they don't care. No, they don't care.
Nope, they don't care at all.
Okay, now you don't have any kind of appetite, do you? You're only interested in beverages?
Yeah, I the thought of eating right now makes me sick to my stomach.
What if someone offered you a piece of fruit? Would that be appealing or no?
You know what's crazy? Like, it sounds good, but you know, the first thought that entered my mind was I don't want to have to open it. Like, I have zero,
you're
I have zero energy.
Appealing or
yeah. Like, I don't even know
funny.
if
It is not funny.
But I'm just trying to be honest. That was my first thought.
Yeah.
I had the week
what about some grapes, Jenny? Can I
All right.
Oh, she's too tired to peel an orange, folks.
All right.
And her temperature is 101.
And the room is up to 95 right now.
Oh, wow.
And
okay, we're definitely talking summer weather at 95 there.
Yeah,
Spring weather here in Arizona, but for the rest of you all, that's probably summer weather.
Oh, yeah, in PA, just, the only time I'd be out in this weather is just to go sunbathing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, that brings a good point up. Now, you are wearing, you said a pair of pants, shirt?
Yeah, prison-issued pants. These are actually they were giving me, somebody who was released from county in them. So they're actually prison-issued pants, and I'll tell you, they're heavy. They remind me of my grandfather was a plumber, and those blue pants that, like, plumbers and everything wore back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of.
Kind of like the army pants that they
like
wear.
Dickies or something. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, those are heavy pants.
Yeah,
okay,
and
so you're in solitary. Do you suppose that they have like underwear on and they could take their pants off at least, or?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really honestly.
If it were me, that's what I'd be doing right now. I'd be naked in that cell.
Right.
I would.
Yeah. Now, another thing. Is
that what you feel like doing, Jenny?
Absolutely. Oh, my God. But nobody on Facebook Live wants to see that, trust me.
Oh, yeah. I was about to talk you into it, but you're not that giddy yet.
I know there was just legislation passed in one of the states. Like, my words are starting to slur. Can you hear that? Like, not that I'm slurring cognitively, but like, I'm so fatigued that even just taking the energy to enunciate is rough. But I don't know where it was.
Let me ask you some questions to test your memory. Jenny, from the ages of 5 to 9 years old, how many imaginary friends did you have?
You mean they're imaginary?
Jenny, what is your home address?
Okay, my home address is, well, I don't want to say on Facebook.
We don't want to do that, no. Okay, give us your social security number, Jenny Rutt. No.
You want my bank account number too?
Anyway, yeah, I was going to go there. How did you know? Okay, Jenny, who is the president of the United States there? How's that?
Well, my president or the one that's been elected? No, I'm just kidding.
The one that's been elected, what's his name? Do you remember?
His name is Donald Trump.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Okay, what did you have for breakfast, Jenny?
My brother was very nice to me and made me a fried, good, the heat shut off. Oh, thank God. He made me a fried egg, ham, and cheese sandwich, which was very, very nice of him to make sure that I had something in my guts this morning.
Well, good.
But here's something I wanted to bring up. Now, legislation was just passed not too long ago to make sure that incarcerated females got access to tampons, pads, etc. Now, this is an awful, oh God, it's just dripping down my friggin' ears.
I know the feeling.
It's gross. Up until recently, it was only if you had commissary that you got tampons and pads, and in some states it's still like that. Now, with me, I had a hysterectomy, so I don't have it anymore. But you figure how many females. I'm getting nauseous.
No.
How many?
I know where you're going.
That in these solitary confinement cells, this hot, with their periods was nothing. From what I understand, even in the regular cells, the main thing that they did was they would use either their clothes or their sheets to absorb the blood, but then they still had to wear them and sleep on them. And anybody who's had their period knows it's not the greatest smelling thing in the world. Can you imagine the sensory overload of being in this situation and bleeding with nothing to stop it, or like you said, to clean yourself, no shower, and then to smell it and have to see it? I mean,
Oh, wow. I never thought of that. That's just horrifying.
It is. It's just unthinkable. Well,
I suppose if they had to, though, Jenny, they could sit on the toilet all day.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that. I mean...
yeah, but, oh, wow. Oh, dear. Do they have a sink in there? Could they wash it out?
I mean, just with their hands, I guess. But figure, where was it? I don't even remember. Jaybird has this up. What was it? South Carolina. Like, so many of the sewer systems are so bad that in a lot of the solitary confinement cells, they ought, was it? Oh, I think it was South Carolina, that they were flooded with sewer water. You know, I mean, so, you know, and we all know. Okay, I'm going to try not to go too far in left field because I'm really good about that. But a lot of prisons are built on sites that are not fit to be developed on, which, you know, the way whatever. One of the things that we have here in where my husband is in Frackville, it's called Frackville because there's a lot of fracking going on, obviously. In our area, there is a higher rate of a certain kind of cancer, I can't remember the name of it, because the water is just disgusting. So, and what they do a lot of times is when they have the water tested, they'll have it tested in like the visiting room bathroom or something. They won't have it tested in the actual cells. God, this is horrible. I can't explain to you how horrible this feels right now. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so
I want to add another little disgusting part to this, Jenny. In a documentary I was watching the other day, the inmates were talking about how the smell of feces is always around the jail because somebody's always going. And so you got to picture this heat with that smell, too. Yeah. I'm sure in solitary it's probably pretty bad. And so you've got that going on.
Right. And, I mean, I just want to message without, I'm not going to call anybody out here, but I know most of the people that I know would know who I'm speaking of. Not too long ago, the Jailhouse Lawyer Speaks guys, which is a group of incarcerated individuals, get cats trying to come in, go, get. Okay. He was like, Mommy, they had put up a video not too long ago showing some of the horrors that go on in there. And there was an individual who I won't name who proceeded to call these guys a lot of very unsavory words.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know that people like me or Melissa or Dawn or Jaybird or Bobo or Christy or, you know, forgive me because I can't think of everybody's name. There's too many of us now. But the main reason we share those videos is to raise awareness. We're not trying to be the N-word like that person called the Jailhouse Lawyers guys. We're not, I'm certainly not on here looking the way I do because I'm trying to be big pimpin'. I mean, grow up. We do this to show the horrors of it. So, but
and it's necessary, isn't it, Jenny? Because how many articles are we posting now about this prison, that prison? I don't know what state now in our country has sufficient cooling for the summer. None of them do.
No, I mean we're just.
I haven't read about one that has it.
No, and I mean we're just trying a lot of ways just to get even fans. You know, if we're not going to do air conditioning, at least, you know, for the very minimum, put, you know, big fans and exhaust fans that we can get some kind of air. I mean, we're talking, I mean, it is, it's like hard to talk. Like, it is so friggin' disgustingly stagnant in here. Like, I can't bear it. I mean, it's just disgusting. Ooh,
okay. I've let you go a while now. It's been over 10 minutes. Can you take your body temperature for us?
I was just going to say that, and I got to get ready to do my vitals again then, too, here.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, this is just horrible. Like, it's hard not to feel depressed.
You've only got 25 more minutes to go, sweetie. Are you going to be okay?
Oh, yeah, I'll work up.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know she can do it. I'm just really trying to be extra sweet because she's very uncomfortable. No, Jenny, I am concerned. I hope after this is done, people will start to write letters and do all that stuff because we need to get this changed. You could not treat a dog that way. If you had a dog inside a car at that temperature, you would be fined for it, okay, in my state, Arizona. So I don't know how for the life of me they get away with doing this to human beings, and they've been doing it for a very long time. So hopefully, Jenny, you're under 125 degrees.
100.2. So, I mean, it's definitely steadily raising.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so realistically, I'm trying to predict for like a whole day. Your body temperature would stay a certain amount higher than the temperature of the room until the sun went down, right? And it started to cool off outside, I think, right?
Yeah. This is bad. Okay.
I wonder what it would be like after a 12-hour day of the sun in the summer. That's got to be absolutely sweltering.
I mean, I'm not going to say this person's name again because I don't try to tell anybody's stories, but someone that is very, very close to both of us, who we absolutely adore, is now suffering from skin cancer from being forced to work outside during an incarceration. I mean, it's
without sunscreen, right? They don't provide them with sunscreen either, of course. So now there's cancer.
Okay, we are at 150 over 101, and my pulse is 101.
Okay, as a former certified nurse's aide, I do not like the sound of this at all.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. I mean,
22 more minutes, I think.
If it wasn't for you sitting here and talking to me, I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that's getting me through this right now. Well, one, because I know I can leave when this is over, and two, because I have you sitting here talking with me. But I mean, this is.
Well, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. As you and I know, when a woman is in prison, she isn't given makeup. So often what they do is they take crayons or other things and they make their own cosmetics. So I'm wondering, Jenny, what is the shade of your makeup foundation?
Well, I don't wear any. I never have.
Oh. Okay. You want to talk to me about your eyeliner?
Yes, I was going to say, I mean, I've pretty much done black eyeliner, and that's about it. Oh my gosh, I do. I feel like I want to throw up. This is horrible. I do.
Okay, now let's assume that you were an inmate who was drunk on the prison Pruno, and you got in a fight, and you kicked the bejeez out of some guard, and they threw you plastered into solitary. What kind of, you'd be in a world of hurt right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
okay, stay away from that Pruno. You do not want that if you have a drinking problem. Do not touch it. You'll end up in solitary very sick.
And, you know, and then here's another story, and I'm pretty much just rattling at this point to keep my mind off of this.
Okay.
There was an inmate now. He wasn't in solitary, but he just died recently, and I forget which prison it was. I mean, please excuse me, we deal with so much, I mean, we do this nationwide, so it's hard to keep all the stories straight. But he died of, what do they like to call it these days, overexcitement, I guess it is, because he was forced on one of these days, it was only like a week ago. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, my God. But he was forced to go outside and do dog training exercises. And I think the temperature in that town was 105. And he just finally, he passed out. They took him to the ER and he died. You know, like, and that's the thing. I mean, it is one thing. Yeah, it's one thing to deal with these kind of, this kind of heat when it's of your own volition and you have a drink in your hand or you're
really isn't.
Some people go through. I mean, holy hell! No, like, this is horrible.
In the olden days, in some of the prisons, they really did have an actual hot box. I know here in Arizona, back in the, I want to say late 80s, a woman died in there. They described it in the paper. It was a metal box made out of steel, and she was inside it in the heat. Now, keep in mind, here in Arizona, it was the middle of summer, too. We're talking July. So we're looking at over 110 degrees, okay, outside. And then she was inside the box, and she died. And there was a big deal about it. But they actually used to do that in prisons, didn't they, Jenny? I wonder if they still can, or if that in some prisons, or was that ruled inhumane? Because that is essentially murdering someone.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about things being made or considered inhumane legally is kind of a crock of shit. And I'm going to refer to Alabama. And what do they call it? The toilet program or something? I forget. I just want to throw up. When you first go in, they strap your arms down to your side and strap a bucket to your naked ass. And you are not allowed to get that off for 3 days. That way, if you, or no, I lie. You have to move your bowels 3 times before they will remove it. Bucket duty, bucket detail. I think that's what it's called, something like that, in Alabama, to check for contraband. So on top of the horror of going in, God, I feel terrible. On top of going in,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they would strap your arms down to your sides with ropes, and then strap a bucket to your naked butt in Alabama. And you want to take it out.
Do they still do it?
They're still doing it. They changed the name of it somehow, or did something a little bit different. Now, taking into account, on top of that, they were in outside cells, open to everybody seeing them. Can you imagine the humiliation?
You know, the people that think these things up are sadistic. The Marquis de Sade, was probably just as sadistic as some of these people that come up with these insane punishments. I just can't understand this. This is getting out of hand. And let's not forget what happened in Attica. You know, those guards had the inmates standing on top of Coke bottles, and if they moved or fell off, they'd be shot. And, yeah. And the sad thing is, when you put a human being through this, keep in mind, it's illegal to do to an animal. What happens to the person? What is happening to your, are you depressed? Let's talk about how you're feeling emotionally. And then you got 15 more minutes.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm very...
Tell me what you're sad about.
I just want to cry. Like, I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, and you know I'm not one to cry.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Tell me what you're thinking. What's making you cry?
I don't even know. It's not even like a thought process. Like, everything, everything just feels so bad. Like, I'm tired, and I'm so sweaty, and my hands are shaking, you know. and I'm nauseous, and I'm thirsty, and I can just feel sweat just like pouring down my back, and this is horrible. This is horrible, and this is nothing in comparison to what some people are going through.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's one thing my husband told me about too, is there's such a sensory deprivation in prison. Everything is painted the same color. All the inmates wear the same color. All the guards look the same. The lighting never changes. You go throughout your day by, you hear the dinner bell. You hear the lunch bell. Like, this is just such an overall, just soul-destroying environment. It is. It's horrible. It's horrible. And like I keep, I know there's a window there, and I keep looking over the window, but it's covered. And the only window is way higher than I could ever see out of. So it's like, it's so sad because, like, I know it's there. I know that outside world's there, but I can't get to it. I cannot imagine how depressing this is every day. It breaks my heart.
I'm fairly certain that this experiment is going to get people to listen, Jenny. I want you to take your body temperature again.
I can't believe I'm sitting here crying. I never cry.
Well, I'm not surprised. You've been. It's just like being in a trapped in a car in the heat, isn't it?
Yeah.
With if you had light, you could probably actually see the heat. The vapor it gives off.
Mhm.
When the light shines just right, you could see it coming up off the floor probably at this point. Okay, what is the temperature of the room?
Hang on.
Okay. Take your time.
Okay, my temp's up to 100.4. I can hardly
Well, that's probably why you're crying right there. That was a sharp rise. Okay, never mind anything else. We're a little over 10 minutes left. Take some deep breaths, Jenny. Breathe in very slowly, and, the bottom of your lungs first, then the top, and slowly exhale. See if, can you count to 10 inside your head as you're breathing?
My heart, I can, physically, I know it sounds crazy, and I know I can't, but, I can almost hear my heartbeat. I'm going to take my vitals here.
I bet you do. You feel it in your ears, too. Coming from Arizona, that is a sign of the heat being too much. It's a good thing you're only in there 10 minutes, honey. You're going to breathe this. We're almost done here. Just keep breathing. Take some deep breaths in. You're doing great, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Now, just remember, breathe. Get the bottom of your lungs nice and full of air, because you're almost done. And you did a great thing today. Now, I'm going to go ahead, folks, and give Jenny a pep talk here and keep her spirits up. Keep in mind, though, in a real prison, that would not be happening. Probably about now we'd be looking at a nervous breakdown, I imagine. Okay, Jenny, so, this was a pretty big step you took here, and we certainly don't want that happening in any more prisons. It's imperative that they get cooling somehow. I know they can afford it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, they've got plenty of money. Those prisoners should have air conditioning each in their own cells with the kind of money the prisons are bringing in. Isn't that right, Jenny?
Yeah, and what is it? The biggest chunk of any Department of Corrections budget goes to, I'm having trouble even thinking, goes to the pensions of the guards. And then you have a bunch of states where, I don't know if it's like this in every state or not, but I know it was in Texas, that they were given a food budget. Oh wow. Okay, so quick stats here. My blood pressure is now 144 over 110. My heart rate is up to 105, and my pulse ox actually dropped down to 97. So the amount of air in my bloodstream is even decreasing. But you have these wardens or whatever, and whatever they didn't spend on the food budget, they got to pocket. And they were buying themselves houses and boats. Because what they would do is they would buy truckloads. I'm talking tractor trailers, truckloads full of oatmeal, and feed the inmates oatmeal 3 times a day. And because the law stipulated that they could keep the leftover funds, they spend them however they want. And you had, I know they actually talked to the one, and he said, well, I don't see the problem with it. I'm not breaking the law. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, and like you said, now, I mean, they just made, I don't know if it went through or not, but there was, oh my God, there was talks of making child abuse or animal abuse a felony. So if you leave an animal in a hot car, you can be charged with a felony. But we do this to human beings every day. A quarter of the world's inmates are in the United States. So we house a quarter of the entire planet incarcerated individuals on U.S. soil, and we're the land of the free? You gotta be kidding me. What a joke.
We're not anymore, that's for certain.
No, freedom is an illusion. You know, and people keep
you know what?
So right for, you know, this illusion of safety, and it's not working. What's that?
We actually started around this time.
Is my hour up?
Yeah, I do believe so. Give or take maybe 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here.
Okay. Wow, Jackie.
I didn't know what to expect, but okay, so here's a quick recap. When I came in, the temperature has been between 92 and 95 in the room all this time. I can say all day. It literally feels like all day. My blood pressure has been from 154/06, dropped down to 147 over 100, bounced back up to 150 over 101, and then 144 over 110. My heart rate has jumped from 107 to 101 to 105, and even the amount of oxygen in my blood has dropped from 98% to 97%. And my body temperature has soared from normal to 100.4 in the span of an hour.
So all day long, that would be very, very serious.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't see the visual. You'll be able to come in and see the live video once you get off of here. But, like, I am just covered in sweat. Like, just covered from head to toe. My glasses don't want to stay on my face. Yeah, I mean, this has been something else. But it's not about me. It's about, you know, these incarcerated individuals. And I know somebody went on the event page the other day and told me that this is a waste of time.
It was no waste of time.
You know,
we needed to know firsthand. We really did, didn't we? Because it turns out it's a lot more serious than I think most people imagined. Yeah. Okay. Now, Jenny, I'm going to let you go. I would love to go to the bar with you guys, but like, I think that you better No, I really, I want you to get out of that room, and you know what you're going to do to hydrate yourself. If you need me, you know how to get me, okay?
Yep.
And we all thank you. A big round of applause for our very own Jenny Rush, who actually, you know, that it was looking pretty bad there for a while. So get on out of that room, Jenny, and just buzz me in an hour to let me know you're okay, all right?
I will do. Thank you for sticking by me. Thank you, Melissa Morgan.
Hey, thank you.
As always, and everybody, you know, keep tuning in because we're not done yet. We're just getting warmed up, you know?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, for Sisters Against the System. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.